Okay, just getting started now, and I'm going to go through the most effective way to revise A-level chemistry. And just typing this up. A-level chemistry revision. TikTok being weird. Let's go. Okay, so what is this all about? Well, this is all about revision and being effective with revision. Now, everywhere you go, social media, YouTube, TikTok, anything you're watching, basically everywhere's flooded with general advice. And a lot of it's pretty good, to be fair. So make sure you do past paper questions for A-level chemistry. People say learn the mark schemes. What do they really even mean by that? Make sure you kind of do topic by topic. Make sure you do 4 papers. It's all good advice, but it's all very generic. But what if I told you you could get personalized revision strategies from Chemistry Coach? Okay, so that develops these strategies based on what you got wrong. Now, surely the most effective way of revising is to revise the bits that you're bad at. Improve the skills that you need to develop. You're always working on the most effective or the most kind of dire topic that you're working on. Okay, so if you're bad at calculations, it will do that. It will know that. It will understand that. So how does Chemistry Coach do this? Well, it's not just a case of, let's do a quick questionnaire and then it'll come up with a bespoke revision plan. This is the sort of stuff we've been used to. Times have moved on. It is time to start using AI to actually generate these things for us. Now, the AI I've built, the Chemistry Coach Tutor AI hybrid that I've built, really is that, because it's put all my advice, all my resources, all my notes, all my teachings into the AI, and it's always learning. And specifically, it learns about you, all right? So you can obviously just go in here, and this is the ASAQA version, okay? So if you sign up to Chemistry Coach, you can select your exam board, whether you're AS or A-level, and there's a specific chemistry coach for that, a specific AI tutor for that. Now, the best thing about this is that it is truly exam board specific. Now, if you've used ChatGPT, Gemini, they're all right, but it doesn't know the confines of your specification. It doesn't know how the questions are asked. People think they know everything, okay, these generic AIs, but they don't. This has been preloaded with the specification and like I said, all of my notes, all of my knowledge, all of my teachings, okay? And it knows, it's got access to what exam questions have been in the past, like the style of exam questions, how many marks they're worth, what paper it's on, like what type of question it is, and of course, what topic it's on. So we're going to utilize that, okay? Now, obviously, you can get Chemistry Coach to give you resources, watch videos, kind of, get to explain things to you. Like, absolutely, it will do that. But I'm talking about revision here, okay? And as I say, my aim is to minimize the amount of time you revise, but increase your output, okay? Increase the kind of exponential rise to that top grade, all right? So doesn't that sound great? So less revision, which is more effective to give you better grades, okay? That's what we want. Time is precious whilst you're doing A-levels, folks, of course, okay? So let's start with, so let's say I've got this paper in front of me, okay? And you've got to start to give it a baseline, okay? You've got to start by giving it some information to work with, okay? You can just obviously ask it for revision for ionization energies, but have a go at a paper. You need to get past paper practice in. So I'm bringing in all this good advice that you see online. So sit down, try it this half term. You've probably done your first unit 1, module 1, or whatever it is, okay? Or paper 1 stuff. Or indeed, if you're A-level, you've probably done unit 3 already. You've probably completed a unit. So do a paper, all right? Get a baseline for yourself. Don't do any revision this half term. Just do a paper, okay? So when you do a paper, what you're doing is you're getting your past paper practice in. You are basically finding out what you know and what you don't know. All right, that's what you're doing. Okay, so sit down, do a paper. Now, I want you to mark it yourself. Okay, Chemistry Coach is pretty good at marking things. Okay, you can upload papers and stuff to it, but I want you to mark it yourself because you always learn lessons from the mark scheme, especially with wordy questions. Okay, especially with wordy questions. Calculations, not so much. because they do the calculation and don't explain what they're doing or why they're doing it, okay? This is where Chemistry Coach, again, can come and help you. So let's say you've done that paper, okay? So AS, paper 1, 2017. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to it, so let's say I pick 2, maybe 3 questions that I bombed on, okay? There's always going to be some areas that you're rubbish at. Don't try and do everything, okay? Don't overload yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day. You need to just do the most important things that you got wrong in that paper. So let's say, one sec. I just did paper 1, 2017. I didn't get any marks for question 3.1 or 3.2. So I'm just using the microphone there to basically tell it what I did, and it'll come up with some advice for me, essentially. So I haven't asked it to do anything yet, okay? So what it's doing is basically looking at, basically it thinks I'm talking about the A-level paper. Let's try again. This is good, isn't it? Good start. I just did AS 2017 paper 1. I didn't get question 3.1 right. Can you basically give me some revision strategies to improve? There we go. Okay, obviously you can type it in as well. I'm just trying to be fancy here, just talking to it. So hopefully it'll find the paper now. Oh, yes, you do. Stop lying now. This is diagnose the problem. Let me type it in, okay? This is fantastic, isn't it? There we go. I come on to show it off and it starts being weird. There we go. Let's try again. Okay, so I completed paper 1, 2017. Okay, so AS paper 1, 2017. Bear with me, guys. I do apologize for this. I got questions 3.1, and let's pick another one, and 6.3. Incorrect. If I can spell. Give me some advice on answering these questions in the future. Well, let's go a little bit further, actually. Give me some advice. Let's say, walk me through these step by step. Then give me some advice on answering these questions in the future, if I can spell, basically. So if you're still with me, thank you very much for putting up with me. Oh, this is being weird. Come on here to show it off and it starts being weird. Okay, so let's try it in the A-level one. You're probably laughing at me. It's like, oh, it doesn't work. Here we go. Okay, so A-level 1's working. My apologies, guys. So basically 3.1 ionic product of water question. It knows what it is, and basically it tells you the step-by-step approach. Obviously, you need to recall what the equation is for Kw and then apply the equilibrium rules to it. Okay, so it's a multiple choice question, that. And then this next one, 6.3, I told it I bombed at. It's basically about bonding, okay, and crystal structures. So we need to talk about each of those different structures and talk about their difference in structure and bonding, and therefore melting and boiling point and things like that, okay? So future exam strategies, it gives you some details there, for example. So let's say I wanted some more questions on this, okay? So I'll tell you what, I'll talk to it again. I'd like to practice some more questions like question 6. Can you write 2 more for me? So what it does is, because it knows like the way AQA asks questions and things, it will formulate unlimited question practice for you. Okay, totally unlimited question practice for you. So there we go. So 2 questions there, and it'll give you model answers as well. Okay, and some advice on how to attack those questions. Now, it's not just making this up. It's all based on my advice as a tutor. Okay, so it basically knows everything that I know. All right. So what can you do with this? Okay, so I need to work on structure, and here we go. I need to work on my knowledge of structure and bonding. Give me a 3-hour revision strategy for this. Okay, if I can spell, but it'll get it. Okay, so whilst it's talking you through those questions, it can basically walk you through the question, tell you how to answer it. It can also then basically generate more questions for you so you can practice, okay, and just get better at those things. But then if you realize, like, you know what, I don't actually know a lot about structure and bonding, I need to revise that, here's the revision plan for you. It'll give you direct links to all my notes, flashcards as well, videos on how to deduce shapes and molecules, and flashcards linked to those as well. So that's the first hour. Second hour, basically studying intermolecular forces, watch my video on that, and then of course some exam practice at the end, of course, because it knows you need exam practice, okay? So it is absolutely writing things for you. Now I should say at this point, I'm doing some live sessions this week during half term. So if you click the link in my bio in TikTok, okay, or probably in YouTube as well, then you can access those for free. So just join me. I got an AS one and I got an A-level one suitable for basically all exam boards, to be honest with you, okay? So I'll be giving you my best advice for all the major topics in AS and of course for A-level as well. So join me for those. I'll be giving away free resources and actually free subscriptions to Chemistry Coach, okay? So what else can we do here? So it's telling me what I need to do for the next 3 hours. But let's say I do, another paper. Okay, let's say I'm doing paper 2. So I'm doing some organic chemistry. So let's say I do the same thing. So let's ask it again. So I just completed A-level paper 2, 2017. You can even go into loads of detail here, so bear with me a second, okay? So you can say that here's all the questions I got wrong. All right, so you can literally list those questions. You know, you can just pick 2, or you can literally say, okay, these are the questions that I got wrong. So I'm just going to list some random ones now. I don't know, I'm just making these up. Obviously, I haven't done this paper. So that'll be 2.1, 2.2 I got wrong as well. I just didn't mean to hit that button, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. If I could type, I'd be dangerous. So 1.4, 2.1, 2.2, let's just pick a couple of others, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and it's answering my previous question, but I want to put some more in, like I've done a whole paper, you know. So 6.4 as well. And then let's put one more in, 7.1, that's a biggie as well. Okay, so based on this, what areas should I be focusing my revision on this weekend? So if I tell it I've got a weekend, right, it'll tell me what to do. So basically I've done a paper and I don't even need to think about it. I can just come here and I can just tell Chemistry Coach, like, this is what I did on the paper, this is what I got wrong. Okay, so you can literally list every question you got wrong, and because it knows how often those questions come up, it can prioritize things for you. It knows the most important topics and the least important topics, the ones that come up the most, the ones that carry the most marks. Okay, so let's just look through what it said. High priority, most marks lost on organic analysis, okay? 6 marks on 7.1. Test tube reactions for functional groups, so those are the things I need to prioritize. Acylation reaction, that's also where I lost a lot of marks, and I need to revise those sorts of things. Now, of course, you know, at that point you're like, yeah, great. But here I can just say, well, tell me what I need to do here, all right? So got your medium priority there where you lost fewer marks, and, you know, low priority rate equations and stuff like that. So it tells you what to do. Here's a general kind of thing that you should be doing, okay? Things to focus on and key patterns that you've made in terms of your mistakes. They might all be calculations, you know, they might all be like mechanisms or something like that, and it will tell you. So for example, let's go, okay, so let's say I need to do this. So let's prioritize number one. All right, he knows what number one is. It's just told us. Spelling again, Rich. Give me a 2-hour study plan and resources so I can revise this. Boom. So you literally don't have to think about what to revise anymore, okay? As long as you've done a paper and you've got a starting point, then you can tell Chemistry Coach what you got wrong, and it will absolutely do this. And so all you need to do is just then work through what it tells you to work. You can just work on the high priority areas if you want. Or you can work on everything. But like I said, it's as much or as little as you want it to be. So you're in control of all of this, okay? So 2-hour organic analysis study plan. So big 4 test tube reactions. So there's the 4 major ones that we need to know. Of course, all exam board specific. Tolerance reagent failings, you'll notice there's no 2,4-DMPH in here. Why? For aldehydes and ketones, because you don't need to know it for AQA. OCR, yes you do, so that'll be in there, okay? So it's for OCR, AQA and WJC right now, Chemistry Coach, okay? So hour 2, practice and application, so they're giving you some questions to do as well. And then some key exam tips here, okay? State in the test for the marks, give the observation, explain the result, repeat for each functional group. So if you can do that for each functional group, you're absolutely smashing it. And what you've done is, in just 2 hours, you basically just prepared for, you know, as many kind of questions on this as they want to throw at you, okay? There's some memory tricks as well. I'm not sure I told you that, but there we go. Okay, so let's say I've done that, okay? So done that. Now, right, two 6-mark questions. To test me. Boom. So now I've done that revision, I want to go, okay, let's just have a go at some questions. All right, so we got 1.1 here. It's basically giving you 4 compounds. Describe chemical tests that could be used to identify each compound. For each test, state the reagent. So again, it's giving you exactly the same questions, but obviously brand new ones that you're never going to get anywhere else. And it's basically unlimited, okay? Absolutely unlimited. So I'm pretty pleased with this, okay? I got a bit of a false start on the AS one. I'll check that out. Obviously a bit of a glitch, typical if I go live. But as I mentioned, what I want you to do and what I want you to think about is how effective is your revision? How efficient is your revision? Okay, now obviously this is just for A-level chemistry right now. The students that I've spoke to that use this absolutely love it, okay? Because, you know, you spend a long time kind of deciding what to revise. And you know what? If you think you're going to revise the whole of your A-level or the whole of your AS for the summer, okay, after you've finished all the content, you're mental. So, you know, it's like it's taken you almost a year to cover it. You're never going to revise it all before the exam. So what you need to do is just work on your weakest areas. What are your weakest areas? Well, do an exam and find out, and then you can go and use Chemistry Coach to work on those weakest areas. And as I say, it's got tips, tricks, advice, videos, notes, flashcards, like literally everything you could possibly want. And the most important thing is that it gives you guidance on what to do. It knows the best way to revise all your organic chemical tests, okay? It knows the best way to revise calculations by calculation practice. So it will always encourage you to do more practice with calculations if you get those sorts of questions wrong. So as far as I'm concerned, it is definitely the most efficient way to revise. It's going to save you time, it's going to save you stress, and it's going to increase your grades. So I just wanted to kind of put this out there into the world. Not many people know about this right now, but please visit Chemistry Coach if you want to know more. And of course, if you want to join me for a live session this half term, okay, I'm doing an AS and an A-level. Just go into the link in my bio in TikTok or indeed in YouTube, and you can absolutely join me for that for free. You do need to register, but you can join for free. There's even a button on there to download notes for free as well, with a cheeky little discount code. If you want to join me, if you do join me in those webinars this week, I'll be giving away free resources and notes and advice, and even subscriptions to Chemistry Coach, okay? So I want you guys to utilize this. There is a limited version on the Chemistry Coach website for you to play with, but if anybody's watching right now and everybody wants to comment, then by all means, just ask me something if you want me to type something in, okay? Put it in the chat. All right, that's what I'm here to do, is just chat to you guys. And if you want to ask me any questions about what it can do, or you've got something that's not rude that you want me to type into Chemistry Coach, then I will absolutely do that. Okay. Any takers? Hi Nadia. You probably posted that ages ago, but there we go. So, what else can it do? Well, you can ask it this. What are the most commonly examined? No. What topics? There we go. Carry the most marks in A level paper 2s. I'd like to prioritize my revision. So even if you don't want to do a paper, which you should, absolutely should, then you can just ask it, well, what should my priorities be? All right. So paper 2, look at that, rate equations, carboxylic acids and derivatives and alkenes, top of the shop. Look at, alkenes. Okay, really, really common. Obviously, lots of different reactions that they undergo. So, that's why they're up there. Carboxylic acids and derivatives, they ask because it's quite tricky. But of course, rate equations. There's always a rate equation question in there for AQA. If you're doing AQA, you'll know that by now. So, NMR spectroscopy. So these are all high, and then medium and low priorities. Okay, and strategic revision plan. Anything you like. What about have you got a video on NMR? Question mark. Again, if I can spell. So again, if anybody's got any questions that they want to ask me, or if they want to put a question in. Oh, yeah, Van. Could it predict future exam topics? Yeah, I've never asked it. Let's try. Okay, so let's say, I'm just going to speak to it actually. Based on questions from previous exam papers, what topics do you think are most likely to come up for this year's paper 1? Who knows? Who knows what it's going to come up with, all right? Literally never asked it that before. See, this is why I want you guys using it, because, you'll push the boundaries. Oh, look at this. Based on exam data analysis, the most likely topics to appear on this year's paper 1. So it's basically just on data. Now, you have to be careful. When people... I'm going to get on my high horse for a minute here. I'm going to get on my soapbox. When people say they got predicted papers, they're just basing them on previous exam papers, okay? You can't predict what's going to come up. Yes, there are topics that you can guarantee pretty much are going to be in every year. They're ones that carry the most marks every year. That's just data. But don't forget, the last exam paper doesn't dictate the next one. It's like flipping a coin, all right? Yes, there's some bigger topics and stuff like that, but you can't predict what's going to be in a paper. So even though it's doing it here, it's based on data. Okay, the examiners could completely flip it and make paper 2 80% rate equations and 20% organic. They wouldn't, I suppose, but that's the point I'm trying to get across. Okay, so don't be fooled by predicted papers. Certainly don't pay for them. 20 years of experience tells me just it's not worth it. Okay. So transition metals, 138 total marks. So it's basically, looking at priorities in terms of like the number of marks. Consistently appears 4 to 10 questions per paper, 7 questions on transition metals in 2024. So they've got some key areas there. So yeah, Van, does that kind of answer your question? Very likely topics, key patterns and predictors. So it's got up to 2024. It hasn't got 2025. We can't use exam papers that haven't been publicly released, and the 2025 papers haven't been released yet. Okay, so that's why it's talking about 2024, by the way. Okay, so actually, let's see if it'll do this now. Again, let's just go crazy. Can you write paper 1 exam paper for me to practice. Now again, it will do it. It will try, it will do it. The limitations, there are limitations. There's always limitations and stuff, aren't there? So it won't draw organic mechanisms. It's got photos, it's got files of the tip, all the mechanisms you need to know, but it can't generate new ones, okay? Just like, yes, you can generate images in GPT and Gemini and stuff like that, but you know, it can't draw organic molecules is what I'm saying, okay? And it can't draw graphs and stuff like that. So there are limitations. It will create data like, you know, tables of rate data and stuff like that. It will obviously generate questions based on previous exam questions, okay? Or maybe I've asked it a bit too much of it. Let's just try it one more time, because I am pushing boundaries here. I've never asked it to do this before. I'm learning just like you guys. So if you want me to see if it'll do anything else, then please ask in the chat. Essentially, I'm just going to be your puppet for the next 5 minutes. Here we go. So it has done it. So, you know, it was a big thing, you know, 100 marks, time allowed 2 hours. So it's got multiple choice questions, just like, okay, a paper 1 would have. Okay, so it's done those multiple choice. Section B, and it goes through all the big questions here, and it's still writing. Okay, so it's covering all the major topics and basically writing brand new questions for you, okay? This is about structure and bonding, end of paper, there we go. So this practice paper covers all the highest scoring paper 1 topics and follows authentic AQA question styles. Let me know how you get on. So you can have a go at that on paper and then just ask it for the mark scheme and it will absolutely do that for you, okay? So, unless you guys have got any questions for it, I'm going to love you and leave you. But what I want to stress is that just make sure, okay, whatever you're doing, whatever your revision style, just make sure it's active. Make sure you're doing things. You know, Chemistry Coach is here to kind of just be your personal tutor, be your guide, okay? I mean, you are leading it, okay, because you know how you revise best, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just ask Chemistry Coach to give you some advice on how to revise certain topics effectively and stuff like that. So if you've got you know, any worries about revision, go and check out Chemistry Coach, okay? You can join me live this week. I'm going to be telling you more about it, but equally it's a revision session I'm doing, okay? So go and join that webinar through the link in my bio. Yeah, you can absolutely join me there, and I'll be giving away loads of free stuff as well. So I'm running out of things to say. So hopefully I've given you a bit of an insight into the future of A-level chemistry and revision, and I will see you guys around. Don't forget to drop me a like whenever you see any of my videos pop up in your stream. Okay, cheers guys.